Darlings, hello. It's episode 58 titled Removing the Labels. I see that this lighting isn't very flattering though. You know what I mean? It's not so flattering. I don't know why, but I don't know, just makes me look all sorts. Nonetheless, authenticity is what we're going for here. So, yes, today, removing all the labels. What does that even mean? So, I guess today's episode is about inviting some introspection into your world and into your life. And, of course, contemplation, as always. So, I guess when I say, who are you without the labels? If we have to ask someone, how would you describe yourself? How would you describe yourself? You know, YouTuber, embodiment practitioner, mum, artist, creator, sister, daughter, wife. You know what I mean? Those labels. So, yes, what labels would you use to best describe yourself? And now I'm offering you this moment of contemplation and introspection by saying, great. Now imagine you put all of those labels into a box. And then you set this box alight. And all of those labels that you use to describe yourself was gone, completely incinerated. And I had to ask the question again. Who are you? And you're not allowed to use any of those labels that have been incinerated and sent back into the ether. How would you respond? And how comfortable would you feel in responding without those labels that we put in the box? How do you feel? If you're not being a mom or a wife or an employee or a this or a that, who are you? And how do you feel about that? I assume, of course. Assumptions are always the mother of all fuck ups, but let's just make that assumption, shall we? I assume that it will make you rather uncomfortable when all of those titles and labels are completely stripped from you and you're faced with this aspect and element of viewing yourself through the lens of not having those titles and those labels. I partook in a fabulous workshop when I was 29, so that was 2009. I'm so young, so I got so much vigor still inside me. So yes, I did a workshop in 2009, quite a transformational workshop. And I remember that one of the key catalysts and aspects of that particular workshop was to attach labels to everyone at the onset of the workshop based on how we saw ourselves. And we go through this series of basically peeling back this onion and unraveling who we authentically and truly are, barring and removing all of these labels that we start to be given the day that we are born. I mean, sometimes we're not even born and we're already having these labels put on us, You are Christian, you are Jewish, you are Greek Orthodox, you are white, you are pink, you are yellow, you are, know what I mean? You're a kid, you're an adult, like all these labels. And I always wonder and I contemplate if we had to live in a world where we didn't have labels. The things that we did were the things that we did. It didn't mean that that is who we were. The emotions that we felt or the emotions that we feel don't mean that that is who we are. It's just an emotion that we're feeling, you know? It's like, I am depressed. I'm just saying that for the purposes of this video. I retract that statement because I am not depressed. Okay, I'm many things, but I'm definitely not that. I am, however, feeling certain feelings. Yes, you may feel these feelings, but you are most certainly not the feeling or the disease or the obstacle or whatever we think we are. So if we aren't our labels and we aren't our titles and we aren't the things that we think we are, then who are we? Who are we really? I guess I'm posing this question, and this episode is coming up as a catalyst to a podcast which I had just finished watching with good old Tony Robbins and I can't recall his name, but it's The Diary of a CEO. Bartlett, Stephen Bartlett, I think. Apologies if I've gotten that wrong. But yes, I was just watching the podcast, and on that particular episode, they were chatting about that. They were chatting about this aspect and element of when AI comes in and starts to do all of these jobs, or the jobs that many will be made redundant in doing, and the jobs that so many people associate themselves as. Who are they going to associate themselves to be once they don't have those roles and those positions that they can define themselves by or with? And it really, really got me thinking about how grateful I am and was and still am about having done this workshop back in good old 2009, which really helped shift and change my understanding and perception of myself beyond titles and labels. This workshop facilitated the aspect of getting to know yourself on such a deep level, to the level of understanding your soul essence. You know, like, what are you as a soul being here to facilitate and to bring into this magical world? What hue of shade and color are you here to ignite and inject this magnificent planet with? And I used to believe that it was like something that you had to do, you know, like you got to be this, you got to do that in order for your purpose to come into, for your purpose to be activated, let's just say. And I guess life has humbled me extremely and in an immense amount. And I've had to search very deep within my soul and within my beingness to looking past what the purpose is in terms of the things we do, but rather the being that we are all the time, when someone's watching or when no one's watching. What is that essence? What is our purpose? And I've come to realize that it's in those moments of real challenge, struggle, and hardship that your true essence is often revealed to you. So, yes, lovely humans, I would love to hear what you deem your soul purpose to be, and ultimately why you believe you are gifted and blessed enough to be here on this planet, especially in these moments and in these times that are revealing and prevailing. It is undoubtedly a trying time, and it is undoubtedly a moment in humanity's history that is shifting and catalyzing many things. So I do believe we signed up for it. I believe we signed up for everything. Because at the end of the day, we do have choice. Sometimes God encourages you to go in one direction more than the other, but we have choice nonetheless. So yes, I guess what purpose, what role, what significance, what essence, what magic, what fractal of the divine are you here to impart and share with this planet in this here now moment? Something to contemplate, perhaps. It's 11:06 on the timer as I look up. And as always, continue to sow those seeds. Allow for the flow and magic of life to find you and guide you so that you may ultimately illuminate and glow. Until tomorrow's episode, stay magical, stay wise, and and remember to remove all unnecessary disguise. See you then. Cheers.